Hello all, this is another assignment in self-assessment round 2 in GameDev. The assignment 2 explain animation created and animation event and transition between animation state. What is use case of any state in the animation state mentioned? What is the default case in the animation state? Explain animation state, animation events and transition between animation state. Animation state is a nothing but an animation which player can be in. Like it might be ideal animation or a jump animation or an animation. The animation clip will be stated as an animation state in animation state machine. Okay, it can be any type of animation clip that can player or object can have. It is called as animation state. Animation events are the points in the time animation timeline which will useful for triggering or calling specific functions or methods during the animation, like during the animation timeline. For example, the like animation will have different events, different sprites in the animation timeline. It is particular specific animation state. We should trigger some events, then call functions. Then it will be useful for using animation events. For example, if we are firing gun, so there is firing a gun. When in the fire situation, trigger situation, we have to call the damage function to the enemy. So this will we can implement by animation events at particular time of triggering the method to damage enemy will be get called and enemy get damaged. Like this, in the particular state, particular pose of the animation, we can call specific events using animation events. Transition between animation state. Transition is nothing but it is a like way way of changing from one animation state to or condition of the changing from one animation state to another animation state. It will have transition line which will whenever the condition meets or whenever it is gets trigger, the animation state will change to one state to another. For example, we have animation state called ideal. Then we have to use run. So when speed increases for 4, then the player start running. The condition we write is we write in the transition. When it should change from ideal to run, will run in the transition. Okay, it might be trigger condition. It may be float like whenever particular value reaches. It may be bool like true or false. This is the transition is nothing but changing one animation state to another animation state when it meets the condition. That's what is use case of any state in animation state machine. Animation state machine will have by default entry state, any state, and exit state. The use case of animation machine any state is if you want to trigger a specific animation irrespective of their previous animations. Like it might be in ideal position, it might be run position, whatever the position, whatever the animation state it is, we have to change to the another animation, another specific animation when it meets the condition. It will it is not dependable on the which previous sorry, it's not dependable on the previous animation state. So if you want to jump, for example, it is a jump animation. Jump can be activated while player is ideal, player is walking, player is running. Whatever the animation previous state is, whenever we press jump button, it will execute the jump animation. So we will write this by condition from any state to jump state by whenever the jump is true, and it will execute the animation jump animation irrespective of the previous animation state. So we will use any state to uh, jump test transition to execute this. Okay, it might be jump, it might be anything, like irrespective of previous animation state, it will execute the required animation. What is the default case of the animation state machine? What is default case in animation state machine? Default case is nothing but default animation. Like whenever the player enters, it will be obviously it will get transition from the entry and entry state to the first one, whichever the animation state is linked with the transition is the default state. It might be ideal position. Most of the cases, if the player has the object, it will be ideal position with the default animation case. Default case is nothing but after performing particular animation might have exit time, or it will change by it will if any animation has exit time, it will come once the exit time is completed, it will get back to default animation. Like if it is jump, once we trigger the jump, after particular exit time, it will automatically go back to ideal state. It is a crouch after exit time, or whenever the condition meets false. Like whenever the condition trigger is completed or condition meets false, then it will go back to the default animation, nothing but default case, default animation state. Okay, this will be mostly will transition from the entry point, and any animation state will, after completing its animation, it will get back to the default animation state. Most probably it will be ideal for the player objects. Okay, file back to the default. Thank you. All three questions are good. I hope I give my best answers. Thank you, everyone.